comment, like, and subscribe. Hey, what's up YouTube? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the 2006 Eddie Bauer Ford Explorer. This video has been in the making for about 4 months now because I've just not had time to like go through and put all the videos together. But long story short, I tried to diagnose it, throwed a bunch of parts at it in the front end, didn't fix it, and ended up putting rear hub bearings and stuff on it and fixed it. And what I had was like an airplane noise. When you start going down the road, it had this weird whoa, 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 whoa kind of vibration sound that you could feel transmit through the steering wheel. And all indicators pointed to something in the front end. So you'll get to see kind of what I did. I try to show you as I'm working on it. Some of it's up close and personal, some of it's just kind of from a distance, but you know, hopefully you get the idea what it's like to work on a Ford Explorer and diagnose these issues. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if any questions. So in the interim, I've been putting off the Explorer project because I don't like starting a project and stopping. So I've got this front differential to put in the Explorer, and I'm gonna be putting it in today. Today, we're talking about the 2006 Ford Explorer Eddie Bauer. I've got this thing running really well. I've been driving it, it's been doing good, but it makes that airplane sound when you're going down the road, like a whoom. And I put new hubs of bearings on the front and made zero difference. Put heavier fluid in it, made zero difference. So now I've got a whole new differential, and I've already taken it apart and I put seals in it, resealed the cover. So all I gotta do is get the old one out, put new one in, put fluid in it, and we should be good to go. And if I can get it going, maybe I'll take it out and do some snow donuts or something today. But I'm gonna try to put this in as efficiently as possible. Everything I've read, you don't have to take both wheels and everything off. You can take off the passenger side and pull it through the passenger side. And the reason for that is, if you look at it, the axle for the passenger side is longer than the driver's side. Driver's side pops out. So they say you can leave the axle in place, pop it loose from here, pull the whole thing out. Makes you save a lot of time taking everything apart on this side. We'll see. Let's see if that shapes up to be true. Stay tuned. All right, so I showed you a little bit of getting down here. So you take the wheel off, and then you take the brake caliper off and tie it out of the way. Go ahead and unhook your ABS line so you can tie it out of the way, and you take off the hub, which is brand new. And then you take the outer tie rod off, and then you take the nut off the axle, and you take the nut off of the upper arm here. And once you take those off and knock that loose, you should be able to push in the axle enough and twist this out of the way to pop it out like this. So now it's as simple as taking a pry bar, going in here between the housing and the end of the axle, and pulling it like this, and it'll pop out of its clip, and you can pull the axle out of the way. So really quick. So this took me like less than 15 minutes. So at this point, if you had not already changed the axle bearing hub, you could. You could also pop in a fresh axle, put it back together, and you're ready to go. Unfortunately, I have a little bit more work to do than that. I've got to get this axle out of the way, and probably for posterity's sake, take the sway bar off and out of the way, just so I can get up to the differential there. But we're gonna try to pull the differential out this way. So we'll see how that goes here shortly. I think once I get the axle off, I'll be able to drop it down and pull it out from the bottom here. But we'll see. We'll keep up with time too. All right, so sway bars are loose. You get up in here with the sway bar out of the way, you can get this bolt out right there. And then there's one right up in here. You get that out, support it with a pole jack, and I'll take this one out last. This is the easiest one to get to. Once that's out, I'll basically, because I've popped the axle loose here, I'll just wiggle that out, pull the rear end down and out, and I've already unhooked the drive shaft there as well, so it'll pop right out. All right, pretty straightforward. Just got to be careful so you don't hurt yourself. As you can see, the axle is still in place. Everything's fine. I had popped it loose. I was able to wiggle that out. And then drop this down. What I didn't plan for is it's going to leak some fluid. I got to clean that up. And when you turn it up, there's a vent right here. So it looks like I pulled my hose loose. Yep, I didn't unhook it, so that's my fault. I'll get a different hose and put on it, but I didn't unhook the vent. Probably why it was pulling on me against it a little bit, but that's okay. If that's the only mistake I made, we're good to go. So now it's as simple as taking this one that I've already put seals and stuff in, sliding it over and popping it back in. So if you're checking on time right now, we've spent about 35-40 minutes total on this, and that's me kind of taking breaks and trying to film and all that. So realistically, half an hour to have this all the way down and out. So you're talking an hour total to change this out. Not bad. All right, so I filled up with fluid, took my bag and a little rubber hose. See, it filled up till it starts to run out. Then you put your plug in it, and that's called leveling. So only thing I'm waiting for now is my new axle to stick in here, and I'll be good to go. No problem. All right, it's the next day. You can see here, got my brand new axle. It's a Precision. That's the part number 8139. There is a left and a right, so this is the passenger side. The driver's side is a different part number. But now that I've been waiting, all I have to do is literally pop this in place and hook everything back up. So I'll do that shortly, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so I've got the center cap out. This has to be torqued to 184 foot-pounds, so I tightened it down to get it close, and I went ahead and hooked my sway bar back up. Don't mind my rag here, that's zip tied there just to catch a little residual oil till my rear seal quits leaking. And got my sway bar hooked up here. You can see the differential's in place. I have already added fluid to it, and this is the new axle snapped in and torqued, and the calipers and all torqued properly. And you can look up the torque specs. I won't just regurgitate them here, but there's like 122 foot-pounds of torque for this one, like a 35 foot-pounds for this one. These are like 90. Anyway, you can check them out on your own for the outer tie rod, upper, and all that. But everything's in here ready to go. I'll drop it down, and I'll go ahead and put the final torque on this, and then hopefully we can go do a test drive, and maybe this has fixed everything. Let's see. All right, so what are we doing today? Working on the 2006 Explorer. I had to feed in some videos from like months ago when I started working on it. I changed basically the front hub bearings and hubs and the front axles, ended up changing the front differential, and this airplane noise just wouldn't go away. And so now I finally got around to changing the rear hubs and bearings. That's the driver's side. This is the passenger side. This is the new one. Already got the other side on. What I want to show you is though, see that play? Shouldn't do that. By comparison, see how tight that is? No noise, right? So these bearings are wore out. They're the original ones, 200,000 miles on this truck. So now I've got brand new bearings, and it comes with brand new emergency brake pads there, new studs for the hub and everything, and new bushings in here. So all this brand new, just easier. Rock Auto, I'll put a link in the description. But basically you go in here and you take a few bolts out, and they do have Loctite from the factory, so they're tight. There's 3 bolts on the back side of this you got to remove. There's the bolts up here and down here. You got to loosen this one, get nut out of the way so you can get these bolts. Take off your axle nut, tap this back, and before you pull it off, you just take your emergency brake and you just squeeze these and push them back out, and take off the ABS line here. And yeah, away we go. I've already cleaned this. I put a little anti-seize on it, so when I slide it through the hub, if I ever had to take it apart again. One thing I don't like, I already screwed up the other side, but they give you a new axle nut, and I already had it on like a third of the way, and I noticed it wasn't completely round. It was like oval to keep it locked, and it really wasn't happy with the threads over there. So on this side, I'm not going to use the nut they provided. I'm going to use the factory nut and Loctite, and then it'll be able to come apart later without any problem. That other side may be a real bear. So and here's what I'm talking about. So you have 1, 2, 3. There's a bolt that goes through here, so it sticks in the way, so you got to move it out of the way. You tighten those 3 up, it holds everything in, and then you tighten this up, and you put your bolt through here, and I got one up top just to secure it. So I'm going to tighten these down, get everything lined up. You push the axle through, and I use the nut just to hold it so it doesn't, you know, try to fall off the end, and keep the axle up out of the way. And just tighten everything down. So let me get that done. All right, once that's tight, let's see. So once that's tight, take your emergency brake, and they squeeze together, and then we're gonna feed them in through the back right here. A little tricky once everything's in there, but you can get it if you take your time. Takes 2 hands. Let me get 2 hands, and they feed through here and they just snap into place. And it might help to take you like a bar like this and kind of pull the pads over and then pop them in. Once that's on, everything's hooked up, you want to put your rotor on. So we'll do like this. Make sure it slides on without interference with the brakes. It does. And now we can put our caliper on with the brake pads. Notice they go in at the bottom and they snap in at the top. Then we'll hook up our ABS sensor and we're ready to go. All right, moment of truth. Is it gonna make noise or what? Believe it or not, it is actually quiet. Amazing. Oh, you just don't know how satisfying it is that this thing is not making an airplane noise. It really sounded like it was in the front when I got this thing. So I spent all that time and effort and money putting everything on the front, which, you know, it won't hurt it that I did that. But knowing that it was the rear and it can transfer to the front is crazy, because I could even feel a vibration in the steering wheel. It's like a resonance that would happen, and that's completely gone now as well. But yeah, by now it'd be making airplane noise. This is awesome. Completely fixed, thanks to Rock Auto and some replacement rear bearing hubs on the back. This thing is ready. Awesome. All right. Well, That was a long way to get here. We went around an elbow twice, but we have figured it out. If you have a vehicle you're not sure of the history and the maintenance on it, and it's making a bunch of noise like a bearing, wheel bearing, don't just change one you think's bad. Go ahead and change all four. Why not? Then at least you know what you're starting from. And this thing's got 212,000 miles, so let's hope these will go another 200,000 if I have to change them again. But it is completely smooth and quiet. Here, I thought it was tire noise. Those Michelins aren't making a bit of noise. This thing is nice. Talk to you next time.